Roll the camera. Okay.
Scene one, take one.
Welcome to Southcity Live. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Michaela. Today on Southcity Live, a new crime wave has sweeping the country in form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We help them find it. And the latest weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more upside down and topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside down house. Before you think they may have read the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The wacky board was built as a tourist attraction as well as being a comment on the state of the world. The house is 23 feet tall and rests on the point of its roof. Supported by steel beams in the attic, inside the house there are beds screwed into the ceiling, upside down wardrobes and an upside down kitchen. And even an upturned bathroom, though it's not known if anyone has tried to have a bath in it or go to the toilet. Normally a house like this takes 3 weeks to build, but this one took over 4 months because they kept getting disorientated by strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complain of mild sickness and dizziness after just a few minutes inside. And we now go over to our reporter Shani, who was in the house with the homeowner. How are you feeling, Shani?
Thanks, Brittany. I'm here with the owner of the house, Rebecca, and I'm feeling quite excited. So, what made you to build this upside-down house?
Well, in the late 1960s, my dad was very mean. But people told him that he needed to be nicer. So he told them to be different. And so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be different.
What comment do you feel the house makes about the state of the world?
Well, I think we just got to not worry about what people think whenever they want. We just got to stand strong and be different. Like I said before.
What are some of the challenges of living in a house where everything is upside down?
Well, not many for me, but for people that aren't so talented, there might be a few. Might need maths and stuff, but I'm quite talented, so I find everything quite simple and easy and breezy.
What danger of hazards are there?
Not many, just I know people will try and steal my cool house, so I have took cautions and put 3 deadbolt locks on my doors and chimney. And on the gate, if you come up, there's lasers and they shoot fire, so be careful.
Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm Shani for Southcity News. Back to you, Brittany, in the studio.
Even watching that makes me feel queasy. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak, which can hide objects by bending light waves using special tiny crystals all set together that look like tiny piles of wood. It has been discovered that light can be controlled in a way that makes objects disappear. So far, scientists have succeeded in making small objects such as coins disappear, but hope that it won't be long before they are hiding cars, planes and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible, one top scientist says. The possibilities are endless and we are all very excited. Unfortunately, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been having trouble finding it. As soon as we put it down somewhere, it just disappears, the inventor of the cloak said. It appears they are having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be under the cloak. What will this invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak, here is our on-the-spot reporter Chelsea with more on the story.
Hello, I'm Chelsea and with me is Ashley and Bertha, 2 of the scientists behind the invisibility cloak. Hi Ashley, hi Bertha, and thanks for joining us today. What made you want to invent an invisibility cloak?
Well, we thought it would be useful because it's different and, everyone likes new things.
Well, I actually thought that, how like in movies there's often invisibility cloaks. Well, I thought that we could make the dream come true.
Can you show me how the invisibility cloak works?
Well, because of the fabric on it, you just when it's tightly around some objects, then it disappears and the eyes make an illusion that it's not there. Watch this.
Whoa, that's freaky. Take it off. What do you hope the cloak will be used for?
Well, anything really, but it would be quite useful to use it for a tablecloth or something like that.
Well, I thought that it would be good for like police and like FBI and agents and things like that, so that they can be really good undercover cops and things, and it would be a lot easier to find criminals that way if you're not seen.
Do you have any problems with the invisibility cloak?
Well, yes, we do, because, you see, when we put it on, we can't see it, and when we put it on the floor, we can't even see it.
Wow, that makes things really clear. Thanks for joining us, and we're out of time. Over to you, Brittany, in the studio.
Thank you, Chelsea. How's this for an interesting yarn? A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country. That's thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. Those wool-waving criminals are covering tree branches and lampposts with small knitted jerseys and scarves. Under the cover of darkness, police have labelled the knitted activities of the gang illegal because their woolly crimes are being done on public property without permission. The popularity of the woolen graffiti is growing and more public objects are being wrapped up in warm and cosy every night. But there is a problem. It's growing, the length and width. Police say and warn that if the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will be colourfully dressed against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. There are a close-knit group of dead-eyed wool criminals. We are stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. What needles me is that there's no real pattern to the crimes, a police spokesman said today. So far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest, but continue to pull wool over the eyes of both the public and the police. We go to the secret location with our investigative reporter, who has an exclusive interview with one of the Midnight Knitters gang.
Thanks guys, and hey, I'm Katrina Lee, and joining me in this top secret location is a member of the Midnight Knitters gang. Hello Georgia, and thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Well, we're just going to ask you a few questions, so if you answer them, that'll be great, and if you don't, it's okay. So first question is, what led you into the dark underworld of knitted graffiti?
I don't know. I got a little bored of spray painting and all that, so I just went on to knitting.
Well, second question, do you see yourself as a criminal? Why and why not?
Not really, because knitting is no crime and it doesn't hurt anybody.
Interesting. So apart from trees, lampposts and traffic lights, what else would you like to graffiti with your woolens?
Things like chairs, plates, things like that.
Well, last question is, how long have you been a midnight knitter?
About a year.
Awesome. So, thanks for joining us, Georgia, of the Midnight Knitters gang. We now go over to Katrina and Nick with a weather update.
Thank you, Katrina Lee. And now, good morning, New Zealand. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather.
Starting in the far north, a completely unexpected tropical storm in Kaitaia for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. Moving down the island, in Auckland, there will be a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions until lunchtime, but those are the conditions and you'll just have to accept them. An anticyclone meets a tropical cyclone in the Bay of Plenty. Tune in tomorrow to see what happens. Will they fight or cancel each other out? Maybe they'll end up as friends. Wait and see. In Napier and Hastings, the weather will occasionally be changeable and occasionally not. We really have no idea what will happen there. In Taranaki, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day with no highlights whatsoever. It will be gloomy, overcast and miserable all morning. However, things should clear up by evening, so don't worry, everything will be fine. Wellington will have another capital day. No wind at all, and the day will be so pleasant that they'll actually be classed as extreme. On the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can expect to have a good day, meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim, or reading the newspapers. But whatever you do, try not to go outside because the weather will be just terrible. A real mix for Christchurch, where excessive rainfalls hit, along with some unreasonable rainfall, sensible wind, and moderate thunderstorms, and a smattering of very angry snow. And in the lower south, Dunedin will be frosty, cold, and unfriendly until late morning, when the sun will pop up for a visit. Everybody likes the sun.
That's all from us. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Catch you later, New Zealand. Now it's back to Brittany and Michaela.
Thanks, Katrina and Nick. Well, that's all we have time for. We hope you've enjoyed this morning's broadcast. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. From the whole team at Southcity Live, goodbye and
Kia kite.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1.